Namaste yogis, welcome to your practice. This is Stephen from YogaWorks, and then this is part 2 of the Restore and Reset little mini series of restorative practices. In this one we're going to be focusing on relax your back. That's the name of this session, and we'll be doing a lot of work around the waist, the lower back, and we'll also get into the upper back and the chest area, touching on the shoulders a little bit, and then hopefully it's going to make a world of difference in about half an hour time. Let's see where we get to. So come into hands and knees. And oh yes, before I forget, we'll need a blanket and a block for this class. So get that handy. If you need to pause the video, then you can do that. And then come into cat and cow for just a few rounds where we'll move into spinal flexion and extension with the breath. You know what to do. You can close your eyes and just drop into a simple movement. And then we're not trying to go to our very maximum here, but we're just bringing a little bit of movement to the spine and creating awareness of the parts of the body that we'll be working with today. Letting the breath move along with the spine. I like to inhale as I arch the back, exhale as I round the back. But you can do what feels good for you. Let's do one more. And then just tuck your toes under. If you can, place the heels together and just push back so the knees can now open wide. And all I'm doing is, as I'm reaching the hips back, I'm just leaning the hips back, I'm lengthening the chest forward. I'm just allowing the upper body to fold inside the knees. This little squat. It's a great pose to create a bit of space in the lower back. And let the shoulders just relax, let the head hang. And then just feel the space in the backs of the lower legs, your calves, as the heels are just gently lengthening down. You don't have to force them down, but just allow them to feel heavy. And if it happens that your elbows can touch down, then that's also another option to rest down more. So just find the pose that works for you and take a moment to drop in. This is our main objective in these restorative classes. It's not the stretch. It's not about going deeper. It's about resting deeper. To use the pose as an invitation to relax. And just check where you're still holding some tension, maybe around the hips, the thighs, the shoulders. If you can let that go as well. And then you can use the hands to gently come up, and then we'll lie down on our back for the next pose. So just lie back and move both of your feet over to the bottom right corner of your mat. And if you like, you can cross the left ankle over the right, or if that doesn't feel good, just keep the legs uncrossed. And then with the upper body, we'll move our arms and hands also over to the left. And what I like to do is with the right hand, I'm holding the left wrist here. And we're just creating a really nice side stretch here, lying on our back. So no effort is required. Let the arms rest. Let your face soften. Relax the legs completely. We're holding each pose for between 2 and 3 minutes. So you know we've got a good long time to settle, to ground, to drop a little bit deeper. And when I say deeper, I don't mean more stretch, I mean more relaxation. And you might feel as you stay in these poses a little bit longer, you know there's no rush to get to the next one. Your breath is able to slow down and to become more conscious. Your mind can also rest because you don't have to plan what is coming next. This is it. We're here for a while. See if you can relax the shoulders a little bit more fully. Let your head rest back. And feel for any tension in the side of the ribcage to dissipate. All these poses should feel like almost like a little holiday on your yoga mat, wherever you are, in your bedroom, your office, in your garden. You don't need to go far to find a place of stillness. And then really slowly release the hands, release the feet, and start to walk the legs over to the left side. Option to cross the right leg over the left. It can help to relax the legs a bit more. And then move the arms over the head to the left side as well. And if you like, with the left hand, you can hold your right wrist. And then just take a moment to drop in. When you get into a new shape, you might feel some initial tension. Try to keep that mild. If you need to, back off a little bit even. And as you stay longer, can you feel that tension become less prominent? To feel it recede into the background. Take a moment to remember what you came here for. You wanted to restore and reset. You wanted to relax your back. So can you do exactly that? It's not the time to plan your next activity, to worry about your work emails or your family. This is the time to top up yourself, your own energy level.
And just feel the luxury of time and stillness, which often seem in short supply in our modern lives. Slowly start to release the arms and the legs and center yourself on the mat again. And then just bend your knees and lower both knees over to the left side. Just nice and simple, straight over to the side, and then open your arms wide, so let the arms be more or less level with the shoulders. And this is unexposed. If you like to, you can rest that left hand on the top right leg. You can turn your head left, right, or center. I think I prefer center. So just find where it's most comfortable. And then relax the knees, relax the legs completely. And just unwind in this pose. Remember, we're only going to about 60, maybe 70% of our capacity to stretch or to lengthen. So keep it really mild. When you feel the first signs of intensity, stop there and even a bit before that. And then just work on letting the body rest as fully and deeply as you can. It should feel like you don't need to make any effort to stay here. The body doesn't need to tense and hold as it normally has to. In a more flow style class, for example. Here the strength comes from being still and present, which is a whole other level of strength. Less than half a minute, enjoy the feeling of just releasing fully. And then slowly start to lift the knees back up. Now we'll just move into the second side. Take your time. Start to move the knees over to the right side. Reach the left arm out to the left. I like to rest the right hand on the top leg. And just shuffle around so you get really comfortable. Rest the head. Relax the upper back and your shoulders. And let the legs go. And when you've made all the adjustments, start to drop into the pose deeper and deeper. And you might find that the mind follows the example of the body and also drops into stillness. And then really gently, in your own time, start to lift the knees back up. And then just rest back for a moment. You can bend your knees, you can straighten the legs, whatever is more comfortable. And then slowly draw your knees into the chest. You don't need to pull really hard, but just make little circles with your knees, and you'll feel this also creates a little circle with the lower back on your mat. Just a slight pressure around the lower back. Just circling around, nice and easy. And then change the direction of that circle. As the knees circle around, you'll feel that whole circumference of the lower back receive just a gentle massage. And then you can release the feet. We're going to need our block for the next one. So just grab your block or something else that can support you and lie down. Just place your feet flat on the mat and lift the hips up a little bit for our supported bridge pose. And as we're not looking for any intensity, I'd recommend to go on the medium height or even the low height if this is still too intense for you. And to just enjoy this mildest of backbends. Mild, mild, mild. And because it's so mild, it allows us to drop in a little bit easier. We don't need to be worrying about intense stretch at the front of the legs and the front of the hips and the chest. It should feel enjoyable and relaxing. And if you can, relax the legs a little bit more, relax your feet down, and let the weight of the pelvis just rest on that block. And even though it's such a mild back bend, it still creates a nice open space in the front of the body, around the chest, around the belly, around the front of the hips. So just enjoy that space and see if you can breathe into it a little bit more. Got about a minute left. I'll just build in a few moments of quiet, so you can explore the pose deeper inside yourself. And for the last part of the pose, if you like to, you can stay here, or if you like to, you can lift one leg up and then the other leg and extend the legs up towards the ceiling while still being supported under the sacrum with that yoga block. If it doesn't feel comfortable, then just come down with the legs, continue the supported bridge pose. So this is more of a supported shoulder stand with a very mild version. And it's just really nice to give the feet and the legs a break, to feel the circulation a little bit less in the legs, a little bit more in the brain and in the upper body. And then slowly bend the knees again, place the feet down, and slide the block out from underneath you. Yes. For the next pose, we're going to need our blanket. So grab your blanket and just you need a little bit of padding. For me, I think this will be plenty, but if you're a little bit tighter in the shoulders, then maybe have it a little bit higher up. And then slide the blanket quite high up on your mat. And then lie with your rib cage on the pad and bring your right arm in front of the chest. And then there's two options here. For a milder version, just stretch your left arm forward. For a more intense version, cross your left arm in front of the right. And actually, I enjoy to have a yoga block in front of the arms, just to have something to rest your head on and not have to worry about supporting any of your weight. So just set it up so you can really rest down. And if the block is too high, you can try the lowest setting. So now this is great to get into the back of the shoulders and your upper back. Just feel that nice open space there. And then gently coming out, we'll swap the arms around, so it's going to be left arm in front of the chest, right arm forward. That's a little bit milder. You work on one shoulder at a time. Or, if you're okay with it, the right arm can cross in front, the forward can relax on your block, or a pillow if you got one. And again, just drop them. Feel the weight of your body relax down. And feel the back of the shoulders and the upper back broaden and expand. And then slowly come back up. You can place the block off to the side, we won't need it. And then create a bit of a thicker roll with your blanket. So something about this height. You can do the same with your yoga mat if you don't have a blanket nearby. And then we'll place it more or less in the same place, so quite high up the mat. And all I'm going to do is lie on that roll with the bottom of the shoulder blades. So more or less for ladies where the brass strap will be. And for guys, you'll just have to imagine. So my shoulders are above the roll on the side of my head, and then just the bottom tips of the shoulder blades are on that roll. If you find it too much, then just unroll the blanket a bit or your mat. If you want a little bit more, then you can always roll it up a little bit higher. And then let the arms just open. I like to just straighten the legs, rest the head back, and you have arrived again. It's one of my favorite ways to open the chest and to do a little bit of an upper back bend in the kindest way possible. Just feel that space around the chest, around your heart center. Feel open and connected. With every out-breath, surrender your body deeper and deeper into this pose. If you're in cactus arms with the arms, that's also an option. It might feel nice, the front of the shoulders and the chest. But just let the hands relax back. Let the elbows rest down. No effort required. And then really slowly start to come off the roll. We just have to do one last little set up for the last pose. It's similar to the last one, but we'll just change the direction of the blanket, so lengthwise on the mat. You can adjust the height, but I find I like the same height for both of these. And we're sitting all the way up against the edge of that roll, but not quite on it. So you should just feel your tailbone touch that roll, and then just lie back. So your pelvis is just on the mat, beyond the roll, and then the roll supports the whole middle of the spine. And then just take the headpiece of the blanket and fold it up once more, so you have a bit of an extra pillow for your head. And then just check that you're really comfortable, and if you prefer, you could straighten the legs out, so there's no effort to keep the legs up anymore. And you can start your holiday right here. So this is our last pose in this little session. See how fully you can relax on that support underneath you. And you feel the left side of your body drop to the left. And feel the right side of your body drop to the right. And just feel that strong center line where your body rests on the blanket underneath you. The yogis speak of an energy channel from the base of the spine all the way through the top of the head. And if you do our practice, we invite the energy to rise to higher and higher levels. From the base of the spine, up through the space behind your navel, to the solar plexus, to the heart center, to your throat, through the third eye, the middle of your forehead, and just the space behind that. To the crown of your head, just above the crown of the head. Feel free to stay here for as long as you want. If you've got an extra couple of minutes here, then that could make a huge difference. I want to thank you for joining me today. I hope your back feels nice and relaxed, and I hope to see you again soon. Namaste.